Good evening. I'm Lisa Maxwell, and I am here to do a reading. And I wasn't going to use the ARC deck. But I was like, nope, using that deck. Okay, so we are again using the ARC Animal Tarot Oracle card deck by Bernadette King, artwork by Heidi Sutherlin. This is the second edition. It's pretty rad. It's been out since 2020. I think the first edition looks like it came out in 2019, so she did a follow up to it in 2020. It's a great deck. I would like to say that I've been sitting studying it since I last did a reading. I have not. It's been sitting right here, just sitting with all the things. It was a crazy full moon in the final degrees of Aries. It was actually at the 25th degree. In fact, I thought about something I said in a reading. I don't know, it might have been the beginning of last week. I get into that, and I sometimes don't even know what I'm talking about or can't quite put my mind on particulars or articulate them. And I realized this is something about a Pisces eclipse. Well, it was. Oh, yeah. It was. Anyway, the other thing was, but it was at the 25th degree of Pisces, which is a master number of Pisces. The number 7 is the number of Pisces, the number of spirit. And this was the master number of Pisces, but occurring a full moon in the sign of Aries, and it was a super moon. It was the closest the Earth is. There are super moons and there's super moons and there's super moons, and that only means that the moon is very close to the Earth at the time of the apex of the, as it comes to apex. And so its pull that all, it may not seem any larger. It may seem larger to you. However, it really just means that it means that the pull of the moon emotions of the sign of Aries, of like action, and the ruler of Aries, by the by, happens to be in the sign of Cancer right now, which again is emotion. And 2 is the master number of Cancer, where Mars is currently the ruler of Aries. Follow me. And so, following our emotions, feeling our feelings is our way into our own divinity. We really get, I'm not going to say we. I'm not going to speak for you. But I know for me, for a long time, and I don't think I really saw this. I know I didn't, in fact. I was really hung up on the idea about divinity is somewhere other than here. The way to our divinity is through our humanity. And a card flips. Camel, Page of Pentacles. Camels are a journey, the human journey. And Pentacles is what happens on this plane, on the earthly plane. We've talked about this in numerous videos, how anything that's happening on this plane is going to be happy. The page of the suit of Pentacles of Earth is where anything of Pentacles is going to be playing out. It's material. It's what matters. The Page of Pentacles is being curious, though. Sometimes I've said this too. I'm going to go, I'm just going to kind of prop this up. Oh, look, there it goes. I'll just kind of prop this down here. Look. Oh, look, there's a convenient little crack there. It's going to hold them up. Oh, I'm trying to drink with the cap on the bottle. That's good. It's anything of material weight. And when you think about that, that means things that matter to us, things that are important, things that are of value, It might be what we do for our work that creates the monetary or the resource, it's resources. It's how we work with our bodies, right? Our bodies are also matter. It's anything that you can, that's tangible, concrete. So we have the Page of Pentacles, but in this deck, a camel is there. So this is a journey. Sometimes the Page of Pentacles, I'm going back and forth as I usually do, if you know me, could be considered a player because they're curious and they want to learn about everything. Sometimes the card of Gemini, the suit of Gemini, the sign of Gemini. Oh my God. Anyway, here we are. Get grounded, Lisa. Hello. But it doesn't matter. There's a curiosity. A page is also someone who's learning. It's also somebody who's bringing messages. So there might be some messages afoot about, things that you might want to be doing to either improve your resources, your resource cache, especially as we're moving in now we're in autumn here in the Northern Hemisphere. And this is the time where we're harvesting and we're kind of storing things up for the winter. And we are right at the very tail end. We are approaching the last day of the zodiac sign of Libra. And so, you might be looking around at your relationships, how they've manifested and how they're manifesting. And is this someone that you want to spend the winter with? Okay. But regardless, being curious about what it means to be a human being. It's a journey. How grounded are you? How stable do you feel with what you have cultivated in your life? Cultivation, again, pentacles matter. All right. We'll let that stand. But yeah, so being divine, going back to what I was saying, being divine is about accessing our feeling. If we are going to initiate action, it can't just come from a headspace or a mental understanding of things. That's never going to be. It's a great place to start strategizing, but then how do you feel about those strategies? You have to add that in. How do you feel about, how does your heart space feel? And so this full moon that we had in Aries last week, which is capping off, it's the last eclipse in the, where we have the North and the South node. The North node is currently in Aries and the South node is in Libra. So and so that particularly relates to how we show up as individuals within relationship. So there are some relationships that are not going to move on with us because of the fact that we have, as individuals, have changed and we're different, or we're showing up as our true selves. And, Aries is also very authentic, right? That's being authentic selves, but acting from authenticity, from that I amness. And there are some relationships that just won't tolerate who you are or aren't accepting of who you are. And if you're showing up as somebody else in order to, that stuff is just no longer going to fly. And you may not like hearing that because a lot of things you can feel them slipping away. As I said, I think in one of the first of the 3 readings last week, it's not appropriate to go grabbing after those things. And the loving move is to appreciate them for what they have and let them go, let them grow on their own. And then see what comes, and go and do your own life and then see what happens. I don't know. You know what I mean? That it doesn't, just because something goes away in one incarnation doesn't mean that it doesn't come back around. Energy, what is it? Matter can neither be created nor destroyed. If there's something there that matters, that energy will transform. Believe that. And if you don't believe it, Check on that. Okay. Believe that the divine has you. Explore that. This is also a card of exploration. Let's see what else we have. Card of exploration, right? Goes through the desert, goes through anything. To go through the journey. The journey isn't all wine and roses, though, and that's okay. Camels are, be the camel. Learn what you gotta learn. Dare to learn it. Oh, dare to learn it. Dare to be open. Dare to be curious, to go beyond your comfort zone. Camels are such interesting creatures. They live a long time, too. Camel energy definitely came up. I have a little camel stuffed friend, my stuffed animal friend, a plushie that my daughter bought for me a few years ago. And that camel was holding a lot of weight in my hands this morning when I was covering my bed. It was really wanting to hang out with me. Ooh, there's some more. So we have what here? Oh, the duck, the sun. Ah, I can't with this. Oh, look at that baby. Right there, sun Garfield. Triumph, bliss, hard work creates good luck. Yes. And then we got another one, the bat, the hanged man. I was feeling this guy last week. Bottom of the deck, the alligator. Ooh, the page of cups. So we've got a couple of pages on the board. Nice. All right. So we have some new players, some new cards that have shown up for us. Going on a journey. But so we have two major arcana here. And major arcanas are major themes that are going on. Big signposts on the road. And after this past week's, full moon, and I know there are parts of this country that have gone through some just off the charts weather stuff that has certainly changed their lives, their environment, the way they do things. Maybe those kinds of events, whether you've had, you're in that area and you're watching this or not, those sorts of events are ones that definitely shuffle the priorities. The sun is here, though. After the storms come the rainbow and the sun. The sun shines through the raindrops and creates, those raindrops are a prism, Prism, prism that then casts the rainbow. And hard work. What was I saying? The camel will go and go and go. Whatever journey you're on, get curious about the journey rather than focused on one particular outcome or one particular way of being or a set of expectations. Maybe put those aside and see what actually is left when you put those aside, what's actually there. Shine the sun on this situation that really maybe you don't know as much about as you thought you did. And meditate. Think about that. The hanged man, the bat. This is also looking at our darkness. We talked about that last week. We've talked about it a couple of times about how, the unsavory parts of ourselves are often what we see in other people. Those things that you don't like about so-and-so or this or, you know, those issues that you don't like in a particular situation, be it at work or, you know, just something around your house or whatever, but you're not really sure why, you know, whatever, it's being, those are the kinds of things that are reflected to you. This card, I'm sorry, it's everything kind of mirror image. Aha, mirror imaged reflection. Those are the things that we, when we shine this, we want to start shining some light on in order to learn more about those feelings that we don't want to admit that we have. Shine the light. And let's sit and look at them and allow them to come to light so we can learn about all the parts of ourselves. Again, Page of Pentacles, being a human being. When we learn more about all the parts of ourselves in this incarnation as the human being that we are, we start to understand other people better, other situations, other parts of our world. And instead of being fixated on what's wrong with them, understanding that those things that we're saying is wrong with something else or someone else are the things that we think are wrong with ourselves. Darkness. That we don't want to admit, but if we start shining some light on and shining some warmth and compassion, then we start to triumph and become a more, we start to value ourselves more, all parts of ourselves. We're not abandoning parts of ourselves and thus abandoning the people that we love around us. We don't constantly maybe feel alone all the time. We don't feel, we can start feeling more a part of things, more connected, because we're more connected to ourselves. Yeah, Page of Cups. Surprising insights, artistry coming up for air. That's what it says, alligator. Alligator also waits calmly. Doesn't just go after everything. It waits. Four of Cups, contemplation, apathy, new, you know. Queen of Cups underneath. So we've got a queen coming up. Very nurturing. Oh, and whale. Oh gosh, we could just go forever here, but we're not. We're not. I'll pull a card from the oracles. We'll pull a card, the angelic commentary. So taking time to meditate on these things. Let's get in touch with our own humanity, our own inner selves, and making ourselves matter. Taking care of our health, taking care of all the aspects of ourselves, not just the parts that we like and want to put up on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, being fake, you know, all parts. Take the time with yourself that we're so busy taking time with other people. Let's take the same amount of time on ourselves. So there's, you know, concept. Sugar glider, cleverness, adventure, leap of faith. It might be a leap of faith for you to instead, you know, to really take even 10% of the time that we spend on other people. Like if you actually sat down and worked the time as it is on this plane, and instead took that 10% back onto yourself, whether it's 10% of time on social media, watching TV, of doing things, doing for everybody else, or like thinking even about other people. Like if you took that 10% back, like that's a huge inroad. Huge. What's the angelic commentary? Okay. The lovers. Our intimate relationship. Can't make this up. Intimate relationship. The lovers card show up. Again, another major arcana. At the bottom of the deck, the Emperor, Archangel Michael. Talk with Archangel Raphael. Healer. Talk with Archangel Michael. Again, ask him to help you cut away, carve out some time for yourself. Have a relation, start having the relationship with yourself that you wish was happening in your external world. If you're already in a committed relationship, taking time with yourself should be a no problem, and will actually enhance the relationship that you do have. And this applies to everything. If you take time for yourself, if you go on a lunch break rather than work through your lunch break, or work an hour less than you normally do, in the course of a day, or even a week. Taking that time back for yourself will help you come to your work with a more committed sense. A real true connection rather than a fearful driver that's just based in worry and control. It's coming at it because you want to, right? And that's real decision, and that's real love. So I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions, put them in the chat, direct message me. Definitely comment, like, subscribe, share this with people, with someone who you think might need this message. If you want your own private reading, direct message me. I will record this in a shorter format because it's kind of like not the fresh take that we just did. That gets posted to Facebook and to YouTube. I'll put the links to where those are in the description, and the link to Instagram. What was I going to say? Because the Instagram format just requires something a little shorter. So I have to do it a little differently. And I say different stuff in that second take. So I invite you to go on over there too. Again, this is Lisa Maxwell. Happy to help. Let me know if I can help further.